Right, welcome ladies and gents. Some bad news for Jamie Foxx. You can see the headline there. We'll cover that in a minute because, of course, our YouTube overlords don't like some of these topics. But I will say, and again, this is the subject matter we're going to be diving into with Jamie Foxx. He's being sued. But I'm going to say from the off, I actually don't believe this because this comes under an adult act in New York, Adult Services Act or something along those lines. We'll get to it. But the act itself allowed a year's grace on a statute of limitations that otherwise, you know, would have passed that basically, and that ends today, Thursday. So it's weird timing. I just don't believe it. I think it's odd, but we'll dive into it, and you guys can drop your thoughts down below as well, and see whether you think there's any legitimacy behind this. We're covering it because Jamie Foxx is a relatively big actor. And I do think the timing's a bit gross as well because, you know, if this isn't true, which I don't think it is, but if this isn't true, wasn't he just really sick? Like almost on deathbed level? It's odd timing. It's odd timing. But anyway, let's take a look. So Jamie Foxx was sued on Wednesday for allegedly essaying someone. It was a patron at a rooftop bar in New York in 2015. 2015, 8 years ago. I just don't buy it. So the woman who's identified in the suit as Jane Doe, which I always dislike this as well because I do think you have to retain some anonymity. Of course, if there are, you know, pretty heinous crimes committed. But I do feel like this stuff should be public record if they're found to be false. And I don't know if they are, but generally speaking, we don't hear about it. So, yeah, you should have the right to face your accuser properly, fully. So anyway, the suit alleges that Foxx took her to a secluded corner of the Catch, which is a New York rooftop lounge, rubbed her tartars, and groped her under her panties against her will. So according to the suit, the woman and a friend were seated at... So check this out. According to the suit, the woman and a friend were seated at a table next to Foxx and Mark Birnbaum, the owner of the bar. At around 1 AM, the woman's friend got up and asked Foxx for a photo. So Foxx agreed, and they took several photos, and Foxx began complimenting the plaintiff, according to the suit, saying, and I quote, "Wow, you have that supermodel body," and I quote, "You smell so good." The suit also states that he said she looked like Gabrielle Union. So the suit then states she alleges that he then took her by the arm and led her to a more secluded part of the rooftop. So some rando he's complimenting, and then he just grabs her by the arm and leads her away, and she's like, "This is fine. I'm fine with this. This is fine." What? Where's her agency in all of this? You know? Seem a bit odd to you? Does to me, anyway. You know, I think some of these cases always overlook someone else's agency. So anyway, after walking her nicely to a secluded part of the rooftop, because it doesn't say he forcefully took her, it just says he took her by the arm and led her somewhere. So there's no forceful nature to it all. So after he nicely led her somewhere, he then decided he was going to grope her tartars underneath her crop top. And the suit states she was caught off guard and tried to step away. But that Foxx then stuck his hands down her pants and put his fingers on and in plaintiff's vagina and anus. What, so from the front and the back? What? I mean, look, you know, I know my anatomy. But if you're wearing pants, right? Not to get too graphic, but if you're wearing pants, and women wear very tight pants, it is my experience that it is quite difficult to do what is alleged here. And I'm sure there will be some guys that will agree with me. Maybe you guys are like fucking Mozart and you're the maestro of this, and you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe, I don't know. But there will be some people that will agree. Ladies, you wear very tight trousers. Some of you men do as well. You should probably fucking stop wearing tight trousers. You look like women. But ladies, you wear very tight trousers. So to do what is alleged here, fingers on and in plaintiff's vagina and anus, is quite difficult. That is quite difficult. So I'm not sure I agree. And then allegedly, a security guard witnessed the groping but did not intervene, and the woman's friend then came and found her, and Foxx stopped touching her and walked away. What? So the lawsuit seeks compensation for pain, suffering, emotional distress, anxiety, and humiliation. No one watched it. What do you mean? Humiliation. I guess you could feel humiliated by yourself, I guess. Maybe. Anyway. It alleges that the woman was sore and had to seek medical treatment as a result of the assault. Well, I hope, sincerely, that there is a medical record for a finger being put up your bum. Because this sounds like absolute nonsense. I could be wrong, alright? I could be wrong. But it just doesn't sound... It's weird timing. It was filed on Wednesday. The act ends today. It sounds weird. I mean, again, so let's just lay this out. This is the evening. Jamie Foxx is sat there with the owner of a bar at a table. He's chilling. It's 1 a.m. Not that late for a New York rooftop bar, but he's chilling. He's just chilled. There's two ladies next to him at another table. They decide to get up and ask him for a photo. So he takes some photos and he's like, "Damn, girl. You got that supermodel body. Damn, girl, you smell so good. Damn." Obviously, he doesn't talk like that. I don't care. And then he's like, "I'm just gonna grab you by. We've stopped taking photos. I'm gonna grab you by the arm. We're just gonna walk off somewhere. And then I'm just gonna immediately grab your tits and put my fingers in your vagina poop hole. Really?" And then the friend just randomly walks up. Security guard witnesses it, don't do anything, which I can agree they probably wouldn't if they knew it was Jamie Foxx. But then the friend walks up, and Foxx is like, "Don't worry about my brown finger. There's nothing going on here, mate." It just sounds like complete bollocks. Doesn't it? Anyway, the lawsuit also names Birnbaum and Catch New York City as defendants, alleging that they enabled the assault and failed to adequately supervise their employees. Well, they're not. Jamie Foxx isn't an employee. The security guard is an employee, but they're not supervising? That doesn't make any sense. The suit is one of many filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which opened a 1-year window to file abuse claims that would otherwise be barred by the statute of limitations. The deadline to file it is today. So they filed it yesterday, and then the deadline's today. Do you see why I just don't believe it? What do you think? Let me know. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.